Hey guys, my name's Brian. I just came from seeing Kingsman, The Secret Service, the new movie starring Colin Firth, Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Caine. I can never remember that guy's name. I'm going to put it in the subtitles. Anyway, this movie was a lot of fun. To give you a quick summarization, first off, this is my first video, so I'm not fully used to giving reviews via video yet, so bear with me. Second, there may be possible spoilers in this video. I'm not used to, again, that's because this is my first video. And lastly, I tend to have the mouth of a surly sailor on shore leave. So if you are not comfortable with foul language being in any sort of video review or anything like that, thinking it's unprofessional, whatever, this isn't your cup of tea. Turn the video off and continue searching YouTube. Anyway, for those that have stayed with me, how's it going, guys? Anyway, so the story of Kingsman, The Secret Service follows our main character, Eggsy. Now, Eggsy is the son of a former member of the Kingsmen. The Kingsmen being a secret organization separate from the government, dealing with international and national threats to humanity, the country, Queen country, and all that jazz. The main thing about this movie is I don't know how to define it. It's like an homage, and it's also kind of tongue-in-cheek towards old, like, super spy thrillers, like the old James Bond movies. If I were to circulate at the time, I would say the Roger Moore era. I can't call it the Roger Moore era of movies, of James Bond movies specifically. Anyway, like I was saying, Eggsy is a son of a former member of the Kingsmen. And he gets into some trouble, and as a result of getting into trouble, he gets into contact with this character, Henry, also known as Lancelot, who is a current member of the Kingsmen and used to serve with his father. And in getting contact with him, Eggsy gets thrown into this world of the Kingsmen, and he goes through the training process to become a Kingsman, and in the end, and comes out the other end as a Kingsman, saving the world from a global threat from the villain, Valentine, played by Samuel L. Jackson. And all the characters in this movie kind of were pretty cool. I mean, Eggsy, like, in the beginning of the movie, he kind of is it's stereotypical. He was the kid who grew up on the streets. I mean, he didn't have his dad. His mother became, as a result of father's death, became a deadbeat, started dating this hooligan, and Eggsy's life just went spiraling down until he went into a life of crime. And from there, he meets Henry, and he discovers this whole new world, which is the world his father was in. And he goes through the training, and he meets all these other people who are trained to become Kingsmen throughout the training process, and he meets other characters, and all the Kingsmen have code names, and most of the code names are associated with Knights of the Round Table. Like, Henry's code name is Lancelot. Michael Caine's character, who is the head of the king, I guess you would call him the head of the Kingsmen, is codename Arthur. There's another character whose codename is... I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Henry's codename is Galahad. Henry is Galahad, and there's another character who gets the codename Lancelot. And their Q in the movie, played by, I believe it's Mark Strong, I'll correct myself if I'm wrong in editing, is codenamed Merlin, which is pretty funny. And this movie has a lot of great humor. Like, it's not like there are some tongue-in-cheek, like, yeah, we know, well, like, it's very self-aware of what it is. This movie is totally self-aware of what it is. But at the same time, given that self-awareness, it goes completely over the top. But over the top in a great way. The action in this movie is entertaining. Every time that an action scene was on, I couldn't take my eyes away for a second. I couldn't look at the guy next to me, seeing what he was doing, or the couple next to me making out, or anything like that. My eyes were transfixed on the action on the screen. And I gotta give Matthew Vaughn some credit for that, dude. Dude, the cinematography in this movie is amazing. Like, apologies for the external wind. I live in New Jersey. It is cold right now, and we're in the middle of, like, a snowstorm. And I'm in the comfort of my warm car for now until I go inside my house and go into my comfy bed. Because it is 2 o'clock in the morning as I record this. So, I'm going to be brief. Anyway, like I was saying, Matthew Vaughn used the camera very effectively during the fight choreography. There is not a single instance of shaky cam. And I am, honest to God, grateful for that. Too many directors nowadays have been relying on shaky cam and shitty, choppy edits to mask the action sequence to the point where we can't tell what was going on. Matthew Vaughn did not do that. He used a lot of circle pans in his action sequences and a lot of slow-mo sequences in some of the more awesome moments. There's a lot of awesome moments in this movie. There's, like, my favorite scene in the movie. This movie is violent. Like, I'm going to tell you straightforward. This movie is violent. So, it's an R-rated movie. No, it is violent. It's more violent than there is foul language. And no boobs. But that's beside the point. The action sequences is the main thing you want to see in this movie. And this is, I mean, granted, we're only in February. It's still early in 2015. This is so far one of the best movies I've seen all year. The only other movie I've seen this year, even though it counts as a 2014 movie, was American Sniper. And that movie was awesome for different reasons. This movie is a straight-up action movie. You go in, this is a popcorn movie. You go in with a bucket of popcorn, and you just turn your brain off. And you just watch what happens on the screen. And I'm going to say right now, Colin Firth, dude, do more action movies. You are entertaining as an action star. I never would have pictured Colin Firth, Academy Award winner, action hero. I never would have pictured that in my life. But he pulled it off. Now, I don't know how many of the scenes he shot where he did his own stunts, or if there was a stunt double. From what I could see, he did his own stunts, and that was awesome. And Samuel L. Jackson was an entertaining villain. His character has this lisp. Now, I don't know if he intentionally created that lisp just to give the character some little extra edge, because if you remember from early old spy thrillers, like the old James Bond movies, a lot of the villains had quirks, most of them being insanity. And like, this movie is, like I was saying, I'm going to say this again, this movie is self-aware of everything it's doing, and it's great. It goes over the top at some points, and some of the negatives, like some of the characters weren't that well developed, some of the characters I really couldn't care less about. There are some plot points that didn't get resolved, which kind of pissed me off. But at the same time, I hope this movie gets a sequel. I really do. I want to see this another movie like this again. And if it does get a sequel, keep Matthew Vaughn as the director. Because, like, I'm giving Matthew Vaughn so much credit in this movie. Because he deserved it. This is by far his best movie, in my opinion. I mean, X-Men First Class was a great movie. But this movie, in my opinion, is his best work. And that's saying a lot. So if I were to rate this movie, my rating system would be, go see this now, wait a couple weeks before you're seeing it, wait until it hits DVD and Blu-ray, go see it if you're a masochist, or avoid like the plague. This movie is a go see it now. Like, I'm not going to even tell you, wait a few weeks. Go see it now. Give this movie your money. Don't give that other movie that came out this weekend your money. Give Kingsmen your money so that this makes a fuck ton of money and we get a sequel, because this movie was awesome. Anyway, guys, I would love to talk more about this, but I have to go. So be sure to leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought of the movie. Did you see it? Do you want to see it? What are some sequences in the movie you want to talk about, and be sure to give a spoiler warning when you're talking about it, because I know there are some people who don't like spoilers. I have friends who are like that. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, because the more likes and subscribes this video and my channel can get, the more I'll do this. And the more I'll do this, the more fun I have. Because I had fun doing this. I had fun talking about a movie I just saw. I want to do this again for another movie I'm going to see. What movie that'll be? Who knows? Also, be sure to hit that share button. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with that hobo you know down the street who needs something to cheer him up in the day. Maybe this video will give him some entertainment throughout the day, especially in the cold winters in the East Coast. Love you guys. Have a good night.